I'm pulling out my laptop because
Yeah,
I
what
want
are you doing on
to
there?
because I want to read from your pamphlet, which I
Oh,
just
wow.
read,
Okay.
and I really enjoyed. Um, does it? It's a pro dumb phone, anti smartphone pamphlet.
I wouldn't say, like, it is pro dumb phone, but if you don't want to have any phone, be my guest, you know? It
Right,
can also just be anti smartphone.
right. Um, when did you write it?
Over the summer at McDowell, actually.
Okay, okay. Um, just gonna lead off with, yeah, something I found a little bit harrowing.
Okay.
But that's the thing. You don't really think about uh, phone addiction being harrowing. Not the same way you think of like a heroin addiction or a
Yeah.
gambling addiction.
Actually, originally I was going to put in as part of the introduction, a note that says I'm going to use addiction language that people are more comfortable hearing when it pertains to drugs and alcohol. And I know that's considered, an exaggeration or that it's offensive. But I personally, like, I grew up around drug addiction and I saw that, and I like, people in my family have been to rehab, and had a lot of drug issues, and I've seen that, and I really just, like, the patterns are so similar, so similar. I read a story about that. I read a story about drug addiction at a reading with you
Yeah.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know those patterns, and I see people do the exact same thing with smartphones. And I see the push and pull within them, and so I think it's important to acknowledge that it's addiction, but also I want to caveat the caveat and say, I think that sometimes when you talk about it with addiction language, people go, "Oh, well, that's not me. I'm not
Yeah.
an addict." Like,
Yeah.
that's too extreme. But even people who aren't addicted, by whatever standard they have in their minds for addiction, they'd still be happier and better.
Yeah. There's also a part where you say, like, I know a few people for whom, like, the phone doesn't have this kind of
Yeah.
psychotic pull.
It's
And I
so
also know
rare.
what you mean. Yeah, it's like, oh,
And
you
they're
saw
not
people.
listening to this podcast.
Yeah. But I mean, I identify much more with you in feeling that, like, the advent of the smartphone completely ensorcelled me.
Yeah.
Seemed to ensorcel everybody around me.
Wait, how old are you?
34.
Okay, so like, you're slightly later. Like,
Yeah, I'm later, and I basically had. I mean, in high school for me,
Yeah.
people did not have smartphones, and
Okay.
that's a big difference, I think. And
Yeah.
I think that sort of allowed me to become a reader,
Mm-hmm,
right? Like,
Yeah, I didn't start reading till my mid-20s.
really,
Yeah.
yeah,
And it's my job now, you know? Like,
yeah.
and I was not a bookish kid because I was so lonely that the phone was a way out of that.
Yeah. I want to ask you about that too, because that's, I think, a question a lot of people will have. And one I had is like, oh, professional life and not having a phone. And I remember that I had my early adulthood was a Luddite period.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get my first smartphone until I was 26, which was around 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a job in publishing, and nobody was like, you have to have a smartphone. But I was like, I think they're probably going to be asking me to, like, tweet and Instagram
Yeah.
stuff. And, like, what if I'm, like, working from home or, like, whatever. But, okay, let me read this passage. You can find this pamphlet on August's everything.
Yeah. I just want to say this is an illicit digital version.
This is true. I ordered the print version, but it's not here yet. I wanted to be able to talk about it.
It's meant to be read on paper.
Yeah. Picture yourself in a decade. You can't know what you'll be wearing, where you'll be living, how your hair will be styled, what you'll have achieved, whether you'll be single or partnered, healthy or sick. But you can say with certainty that, barring any radical change, you will still use a smartphone. You will still struggle with boundaries, with striking a balance between digital and real-world activities. The impulse to check will be constant. You will cycle between resisting and indulging that impulse. You will feel shame when you give in. You will blame yourself for a lack of willpower and self-control. You will resolve to be better. You will never get better. Why? Because you're not supposed to. That really resonated with me because as a cigarette smoker,
Yeah.
I've had this thought of like, so many things in my life have changed, like, but like the one, it's like the one constant is this nasty habit.
yeah.
Which, by the way, I quit. Although I'll probably well, we'll
Congratulations.
see. Yeah,
When was
thanks.
that?
Like a month ago.
Great.
I'd quit. But, well, yeah, and we'll not one day at a time.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that there's a difference between framing it as, okay, I'm just going to have this cigarette versus in 10 years, I'm still going to feel this craving. I'm still going to want to smoke this. And that sucks. Like, that's what really freaked me out, was being like, this is my future. Like, at every point in my life, like, I'm thinking about all these, future experiences I might have. I'll be thinking like, oh, I can't wait to go to the bathroom so I can check my phone, or like, I wonder if this person's written me, or like, can I pull out my phone and check and not be rude right now? And, or like, should I post this thing? No, it's not time sensitive. Oh, it is kind of time sensitive. Should I answer this email right now? Oops, I shouldn't have read that email because now I'm stressed. Like, it's just like constant. And I was like, I don't want to be that. Like, and I don't know, this sounds very naive, but I don't know why people are able to imagine their ideal selves and lives, which like most people are like, I want to be really present and do a bunch of hobbies and activities and whatever, and just like enjoy my life and experience every minute. People can imagine that, but they can't take what I see as just one step to make that more likely.
Yeah. Ain't that always the way?